5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Diary of a Kidney Warrior. Sharing faith, knowledge, hope, and love.
Hi and welcome to Diary of a Kidney Warrior podcast. My name is Dee Moore and I am a stage 4 kidney warrior. This podcast is dedicated to encourage, educate and inspire as we explore all aspects of kidney disease, chronic illnesses and health. If you have any questions or ideas for topics you would like me to cover, please get in contact with me on social media using the handle Diary of a Kidney Warrior. In today's episode, we are talking about the health benefits of walking. My guest today from Birmingham, England is Patrick White. Patrick is a musician, producer, promoter and founder of Walking to Wellness. Patrick joins me to share how walking helped him lose an incredible 10 stones and helped him reverse his type 2 diabetes. Hi and welcome to Diary of a Kidney Warrior, the podcast. How are you doing today, Patrick?
I'm doing well, Dee. Thank you for having me on your wonderful podcast.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's wonderful and a pleasure to have you here today. And we're going to be talking about walking. Now, walking is one of the exercises that a lot of people kind of overlook. They don't even recognize that it is exercise, but actually walking is an amazing form of exercise. It's low impact, and so it can be done for long periods of time. It improves fitness, cardiac health, alleviates depression, fatigue, improves mood, creates less stress on the joints and reduces pain. It can prevent weight gain. It reduces the risk of cancer and chronic disease. It can improve endurance. It can improve circulation. And studies show that walking reduces the risk of stroke, improves blood pressure, slows your resting heart rate, reduces body fat, body weight, and cholesterol. I mean, you can't just say just walking when you hear all of those amazing benefits. And I know that walking has had a significant impact on your life and your health. And so tell me about your story and how walking has changed your life.
Okay. Well, as far back as I can remember, I've had an issue with my weight. So you're talking at least from the age of about 7 or 8. I've had an issue with my weight pretty much all my life up to this point, and I'm now 52. So, because I've done diets in the past and lost weight and put it back on, that whole yo-yo thing, and that seemed to be the pattern of my life. When I became 49, I decided, right, because I was at that point, at my heaviest, I was probably about 24 plus stone. When I was about 49, I was probably about in the 20s or mid 20s. I didn't really weigh myself, but I know I was around about that. And I decided, right, I'm going to be 50 next year, so I'm going to lose, at least when I get to like 18 stone, that's my first milestone. So I joined a gym. And actually, even then, thinking about it, the gym was about a 25-minute walk, whereas I would have easily got on the bus. I was that guy that I'd catch the bus to the next stop. Yeah. How sad is that? So, but I decided, let me just like push myself and challenge myself then. So I actually walked it to the gym. So I was doing like 25 minutes cardio before I actually got on to do any cardio, and then walked it back. And so I've done that. But my focus changed, and so I didn't hit the goal that I wanted to when I did hit my 50s. But what happened is my lifestyle had changed because of the business that I was running, which was a studio. So I was actually out more, and I was walking and I was moving. So then the weight was coming off, but I didn't realize because I hadn't made a conscious effort to do that. So I was just generally moving about walking to the train station, then from the train station to the studio. Then when I'm at the studio, I'd be, setting up for clients and doing that and keeping fairly busy. So that's what happened. And, so the weight started to come off. And at the same time, coincidentally, my appetite started to diminish as well. So not only was I moving more, but I was eating less and not missing the food, even though I still ate well when I did eat. But sometimes I'd just eat once for the day, so I wouldn't have breakfast. Some people would have classed it as intermittent fasting, but the thing is, it wasn't premeditated. It wasn't like, I'm going to intermittent fast or do anything like that. It was just how my lifestyle was, being a studio owner and still doing music as well. So I was just moving more, eating less. And then one day, because my wife just got sick and tired of me pulling up my trousers every 2 seconds, even though I had a belt on. So again, these were all signs and the best indications, but not thinking about it. So it was like, okay, she just says, just go on the scales one day. And then lo and behold, I went on and, I was about 18.5 then. So I'd actually reached this magical figure of, being in the 18s, which, had eluded me and I really wanted to get to, and I'd been near, but never near enough. But from that point, so we're talking about 2019 now. Mm-hmm. So from that point, then I consciously made an effort to say, right, my next goal is going to be like 16.5 stone. Or 16, somewhere around there. So then that's when I consciously continued doing what I was doing, but then increased the walking. So for instance, my studio was on Broad Street on 5 Ways. So instead of taking a train from my house to get off at New Street to catch another train, I decided I'd walk it from New Street. So again, that was just a 20 plus minutes, 25 minutes walk. Again, the more you do things, it starts to increase and get faster as well because you're moving more. So, so I would do that. So I ditched taking the other train and just walked it there, have my normal day. So I'd be still moving a lot, then walk it back to the train station. And sometimes I'd be cutting it close. So I'd be kind of power walking and trying, and especially when it was during the Christmas period, trying to navigate through the German markets and all of that. So I just made a conscious effort then to do that. And then little by little, I was just kept on losing like £1 a week, £2 a week. And then lockdown happened.
Yes.
When lockdown happened, I saw the potential of what could have happened to me. Because all of a sudden now my appetite started to get a little bit more again. And, and definitely not moving a lot. I mean, I'd literally I'd get out of bed and sit on my bed because I got TV and Sky up there. And I'd literally not, like probably most of the nation, be glued to the news all day. And especially because it's like now my income's going to be affected now. So you're looking for that glimmer of hope that, this is going to pass soon and what's going to happen. So, but then it started to weigh heavy on me because it's like, okay, this doesn't seem like it's going to be ending anytime soon. So I had to make that conscious decision because I did start to gain weight slightly, but I was like always determined that I'm not going back to where I come from. No way, no how. So I just started walking, and at first still I thought, right, I'll be out how many days? Because I'd be working every day pretty much. I'd be at the studio, so I thought, let me get out every day. But hello, that didn't happen either. So I probably went out once or probably twice for a week, and I thought, nah. And then I did gain 4 pounds, and that was in a 1 week period. I mean, that could have been water retention. That could have been anything why that happened. But then I decided I don't care how it happened, but I'm going to do something about it. And that's when I took the walking to another level, starting with just doing an hour, which was 30 minutes, 30 minutes one way, 30 minutes back, and just kept on doing that. But then I realized that my phone would always say, congratulations, you've done your 10,000 steps for the day. And I was realizing that it wasn't doing that no more, even though I'd been walking for an hour. So I kind of calculated I need to probably add another 10 minutes each way to that. And by doing that, it'd be like I got my 10,000 steps in daily. And then my body just craved it, because at that point I was doing it every single day without fail, because I wanted it to be my body's drug of choice that it would be addicted to. So even if lockdown was to stop tomorrow, that my body would crave wanting to move, want to keep on walking. So yeah, so it just increased and it increased till I started to do up to 2 hours per walk, and then that 2 hours a day then turned to 4 hours a day. So
wow,
doing 2 hours in the morning, then back out in the evening. We were in lockdown. What else was I going to do?
Yeah.
Watch TV, or, just get further depressed by the news and, what was happening globally. I just thought, I'm just going to get out there. And, it was the best thing that I could have done, because, just connecting with nature, just being out, and some of the benefits you read, it was just there. So both physically and mentally as well. And just being out, and as much as I love the hustle and bustle, at the same time, just the stillness that was around, because everybody was just indoors and hearing the birds sing, and the weather was nice. It was great. I was thinking to myself, well, why wouldn't you do this, And then Boris said, you should get out, get an hours. But I was already doing that, and I'd already determined that I'm not, no matter what they say, that I have to go out and get that me time to just be out walking. So yeah, and that's what happened, and just continue to encourage people via videos, because I know that a lot of people were anxious and dealing with anxieties. So I just try to encourage people, just get out there for, even if it's 20 minutes, if it's even to the end of your road and back home, just get out and walk, just do something. And that was more geared towards their mental health more than even like their physical health at the time, really. So yeah, that's it, hopefully in a nutshell. Obviously I've tried to truncate the journey.
No, that sounds amazing. So you started with a certain amount of time and then built up over time, because everybody's journey is different. And yeah. I'm aware that some people listening might have very, very low energy and might think 2 hours, oh my gosh, but it isn't about, it's your individual journey, isn't it? And as you said, even if it's walking to the end of the road and walking back, it's getting moving, it's getting your body moving, and that is what's going to, get you healthy, keep you healthy, and help your mental health as well. Now, I know that for yourself, in terms of your health, it benefited you. So how did it change your physical health?
Well, about 14 years ago, I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And then that was really the major thing. But then my blood pressure started to creep up, kind of being borderline as well. So it was like high blood pressure, diabetes. And the thing is, even during this journey, so really this journey was, if I charted it, say, from when I did turn 50 or like having the studio, that was about a 2-year period. So even though within that time I was losing weight, I still wasn't managing my health properly in terms of the diabetes and my sugar intake. Right. So I was still, because I love pop, I'm just I'm just going to put it out there now. I love pop or soda, whatever you want to call it.
We're from Birmingham. We say pop. So that's fine.
We say pop. But just for our American listeners or anybody else globally, they'll understand it as soda. Yeah. So even though I was losing the weight, I was still drinking. I was still having quite a bit of sugar,
right?
Because it's addictive, and again, just like you've researched into the walking, if people took the time out to research the effects of something like sugar, it's actually more addictive than cocaine. And that is like, when you tell people that, they're like, wow, really? But it is, because it is, and it's damaging as well. In some aspects, it could be even far more damaging, to be quite honest, over a period of time. I'm not trying to advocate the use of cocaine.
No, we're definitely not advocating. Definitely just disclaimer.
Not. Yeah, just got to put that out there. But yeah, so if I'm totally honest, beginning of last year, so even with the weight loss, I started to get some pains that really the doctors couldn't. When I did get an appointment, they didn't really know what was happening. These were really sharp, niggly pains that I'd get mainly at night when I was going to sleep, and it would just come out of the random. So, of course, because I was diabetic, then they're gonna, whether or not it might have been a cause of it, they're gonna say, well, because my sugar was still high, regardless. So that's when I made the conscious effort that, well, it's great doing this and walking and moving more, but I have to manage my diet as well. So then made a conscious effort to like really, really lower, the amount of sugar that I was intaking, especially, via like sweet drinks and stuff like that, and all those good things, which I've not totally eradicated, if I'm going to be totally honest, but it's at a manageable level. But good news is that I've actually been able to become diabetes free.
Wow!
Now, and that,
congratulations.
So that's in the course of literally, I'm going to say from lockdown, really, because still before pre-lockdown, my sugar was still high and whatever, but just really making a concerted effort. I think what was mind-boggling to the doctor that first called me is that it wasn't with medication. So, because like my wife says, well, should you really still be taking? Because we know that all these tablets and all the things we do, they deal with symptoms, but then you've got the other side effects that you can have.
Yes.
So she was saying, well, really, should you really still be on this? And I thought, and I hadn't really thought about it, because I thought, right, because I'm trying to manage, my health and be responsible. So, because I was never a tablet taker. So again, even with the diabetes, that would be an on and off, an on and off thing. But so I thought, well, you got a point here. So I can't remember exactly when. I'm going to say September or October, sometime like that. I decided not to take none at all. So I came off the medication. So I hadn't been taking medication for basically about 5 months, 6 months. So for my results, when I went to get my blood checked, and to know that I was actually normal on multiple tests, and knowing that I hadn't taken a tablet in 6 months, pretty much, then I think that's, they literally called me to have another one test straight away, because they couldn't believe. But yeah, so and within the course of that year, or within the year of lockdown, I probably lost a further 2 stone. So I was about 17. I'd come down to about 17, which was amazing. But yeah, I came down even more so, and still on the journey, because it never ends. That's one thing I'd say. It's with your health and well-being, it's not a destination, it's a journey. So
yes,
so it's an ongoing journey, as you know, Dee. So yeah. But so that's the story. That's the story today in terms of my health and well-being. Being able to reverse my diabetes, and my blood pressure is coming down as well.
That is fantastic, because as you may or may not know, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is the number 1 cause of kidney failure, and high blood pressure is the second highest cause of kidney failure. And so what you've done in terms of your health and, reversing your diabetes has also resulted in reducing your risks in other chronic illnesses. So it's such a powerful thing. And for those out there to hear that, to lose a significant amount of weight and also reverse chronic illnesses as well is a massive thing, and it is possible through walking and through diet changes. And as they say, it's 80% diet, 20% exercise. And there's a saying that you can't out-train a bad diet. No, so, basically, the two go hand in hand together. So what you've achieved is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So I know that you have paid it forward in terms of what you've learned in terms of your weight loss journey, your health well-being journey, and you started a virtual walking group called Walking to Wellness. So please tell the listeners about Walking to Wellness and how they can become a part of it.
Okay. Well, if I backtrack a little bit, again, pre-lockdown, because it was now becoming quite apparent and people did start seeing me because we were allowed to go out still then at that time. So it became noticeable to people about my weight loss. So I thought, right, the beginning of the year, I'll start a group, but I called it the 30-day challenge because I thought, right, just for a kickstart, because I know anybody that's been in the positions that we've had where we've had struggles with our weight loss, sometimes it's just having that impetus and it just having that little kick or somebody that can. So I basically started a page called the 30-day challenge, and purely what I wanted to do was just to help my friends, my family, anybody within my circle, that were struggling with weight loss to help to address that. So we had about 36 members. So we engaged those who were on it. We engaged quite a bit to begin with, but then again, lockdown happened, which would have been the ideal time to continue. And we were still engaging, but not on a regular basis. But what was happening during lockdown and me walking, I was posting a lot of videos, just encouraging people to get out there, get out of your house, please walk, just do something. And it can help in various ways. So the name came to me in about August, about Walking to Wellness, because I was thinking, well, even though I've not physically met a lot of people, but it's become quite apparent now I've become a champion, I'm championing walking. So the name Walking to Wellness came to me. So I changed the name of the Facebook group from 30-Day Challenge to Walking to Wellness. At this point, I'd started to have friends who were local to me come walk with me, like on a Sunday, on a Tuesday, and various people would just like, oh, where do you walk? Where are you? And so I was starting to walk with mainly still with friends, which was really good. And then, I think I shared with two of my friends who I called the two amigos. Well, together we're the three amigos. And I said about like setting a challenge to see, because kind of hearing people and listening, most people seem to have at least had put on probably half a stone to a stone being at home. So I thought, right, it's September now. I had the idea, ran it with the other two amigos. I said, you know what, I'm going to put a challenge out there to see who wants to lose a stone by the end of 2020, which is more than doable because you're talking over 3 months. So that would literally be like a pound, maybe a pound a week or something like that. So I thought, let me put it, and then the response was just phenomenal. People like, I'm in. So what I did, I just directed them over to the Walking to Wellness page. And then so from 36 people, my original 36 crew, literally it was about, I'd say an average of about 200 people per week were joining. So by the time I got to about 4 weeks, it was over 1,000 people within 4 weeks. And then it just continued to grow exponentially. So we're just under 2,000 now. So we're at 1,900 and change at the moment. But it's grown globally as well. So some of the countries, you got the US, you got Canada, Italy, France, Portugal, Canada, Philippines, Australia. Yeah. So I've got
Truly
other
worldwide.
places. Yeah. So it's grown, and people are walking. And what I love is that people are engaging. So it's not just numbers for numbers' sake, but people are literally joining the Walking to Wellness family, as I like to call them, and feeling the love and the support. And it's just people like you and I, just everyday people that are just encouraging each other to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And people seem to be comfortable within our environment, which is non-judgmental, just about encouragement and really trying to help everybody reach their maximum capabilities, whatever that is. Whether it's to lose weight or just to get fit, or whether it's mental health as well, because I've had people join that, purely join just because they suffer with depression, anxiety, and it's great to see some people have posted like, I've not gone out yet, but the posts are really encouraging me, and they're really, and then you just see a few weeks later, or could be a month later, 2 months, that they do their first post and says, I'm out. And it's just like, yeah. And it's just like everybody, I mean, with Walking to Wellness, there's no I, it's all a team effort that makes it work, really. So, yeah. So that's it. So that's the format that we're using. But we are looking to expand that and to make it into a non-profit company, and then just try to get out there and promote health and wellness as much as possible.
That is absolutely fantastic. It's wonderful to hear that everyday people working together, encouraging each other, whatever background you're coming from, whatever level of fitness you're coming from. It's wonderful that you've created a safe space for people to connect and to grow and to get fit and, as you said, lose weight and all those physical and mental health benefits. So how do you join the Walking to Wellness group?
Well, because we're just on Facebook at the moment, if you have a Facebook account, then you can just literally type it in. You don't have to be an actual friend or a friend of a friend. You can literally, if you're on Facebook, just type in Walking to Wellness, and then it should come up, and then just send a request, and then I add you to the group, and then it's as simple as that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So do you have a final word of encouragement to the listeners?
Yeah, what I would just say is that, we only come this way once. I was listening to a little, it was a talk by Warren Buffett. I mean, for those who know Warren Buffett, he's like a super billionaire, one of the richest guys in the world. But he was giving a talk, and he made this analogy which was really good. He asked the young people, like university students, if I could give you right now any car that you wanted, that's your car, great, you get it. But more than likely, the age you're at, you will change that car. Even if it was your dream car, at some point you're going to change that car. And that's what life is like. We get things like cars and houses, and we want bigger or better or smaller, so we change. But the one thing that we're going to carry all the way through life is our body. Mm-hmm. That doesn't change. Well, it can change physically, but we only get this one body. Yes. So what I would say is to look after, like when he said it, it was just like a thunderbolt just hit me when he said that, because it literally, this is one thing that we're guaranteed that we'll only get one of, no matter what we do to it. So look after it the best you can, because you'll give yourself a much better chance of survival and fighting off anything that can happen to you, because we never know what could happen. But if you're fit, healthy and strong, then it makes for it makes for a better life. And a better quality of life. So yeah, that's the message I would say. Just get out there, and just walking doesn't cost anything at all. Walking is free. One thing that was a driving point for me is that I need to take advantage and walk while I can, because I never know what's going to be around the corner.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, God forbid that if I ended up in a wheelchair or something, looking out on the blue skies, just wishing I could walk again, just do something that I couldn't do, that I could do before. And I don't want to be in that position to think, I had all this opportunity to do it and I didn't, and now I want to and I can't. So just get out there, just walk. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality as well. So whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it doesn't really matter, just move. Actually, just even standing up, which I didn't even realize, just standing up, you actually burn. If you want to lose weight, you're burning calories by just standing up, which blew my mind when I found that out. So if you want to lose weight, walking can be really good. But as Dee already alluded to, it's 80% what we eat, 20% exercise. So if you want to lose weight, then try and strike that balance. And just make the small changes. If you're going to walk, you don't have to do 2 hours or up to 4 hours like I've done. As I say, just start small, and then your body will crave it. Then you will want to do more as you can, as your schedule allows you to. So, yeah, but look after yourself, because nobody else is going to look after you like you are going to look after yourself. So be responsible for your own health and well-being.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story and sharing such amazing advice, and for your group Walking to Wellness based on Facebook. So to the listeners out there, you're looking for some motivation, check out the Walking to Wellness group. And yes, thank you so much, Patrick.
And thank you, Dee, for having me. I've had a wonderful time, and you've looked after me very well. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for listening to Diary of a Kidney Warrior podcast. And don't forget that you can contact me on social media using the handle Diary of a Kidney Warrior. Please do subscribe to the podcast, and please do tell a friend. New episodes of this podcast are released every other Monday. Until next time, take care and choose to live.
Diary of a Kidney Warrior, sharing faith, knowledge, hope, and love.